August 1st, 2014, Ariel the Bobcat. Some of you may have heard that the animal abusers are running smear campaigns against us with lies about Ariel the Bobcat. They have been inciting people who don't know any better to contact the Florida Wildlife Commission, telling them to revoke our rehab permit and confiscate Ariel because we are forcing her to kill rabbits and that we intend to send a totally unprepared pet out into the wild to die. Florida Wildlife Commission's Captain Hooker called me and asked what was going on and who it was at the Florida Wildlife Commission who had approved of such a plan. I reminded her that it was she who told us we had to go through the process of rehab just to be sure that Ariel wasn't a good candidate for release. When I reminded her of the circumstances, she remembered and said, "Well, that doesn't sound anything like what these people are accusing you of." Welcome to our world. Just so you have the backstory, in July, a woman called and said that her son had a bobcat his dog had dragged in as a kitten 4 years ago. She had been living in the house as a pet. Now he was expecting a baby and was afraid the bobcat would harm the child, so he wanted to find a home for Ariel, but he wasn't licensed to have her. In the state of Florida, it is illegal for anyone to take a wild animal from an unlicensed person. So I contacted the Florida Wildlife Commission, explained the situation, and since Ariel was a native bobcat, Captain Hooker told me we could bring her in under our rehab permit and try to rehab her. At the end of the rehab time limit, which would be up the end of this month, we would see if she was ready for release or if she could be released into our captive population under our captive wildlife permit. We gave rehab our best shot, and Ariel can kill in a confined space, but she will boldly walk right up to anyone she thinks has food, and that is never going to work in the wild. It will get her killed and could very well get someone hurt. While I had Captain Hooker on the phone, I asked if we could now move Ariel into our captive population. She asked for a letter from Marvette, which I have sent her, so we should know shortly if the Florida Wildlife Commission will allow Ariel to stay with us. We are always in a tenuous situation with the Florida Wildlife Commission because they can take any of our animals and send them to their go-to guy, Vernon Yates, or any other backyard breeder of their choosing. In Ariel's case, they could take her from us and turn her loose in an area for hunters to shoot her. We are doing all we can to do the right thing for Ariel and hope that the Florida Wildlife Commission will see our adversaries for what they are, a bunch of liars who don't care about animals. The Florida Wildlife Commission sent an inspector out yesterday, and he agrees that Ariel is not a candidate for release and said that she can stay with us for the rest of her life.